Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining Global Fund for Children for a very important discussion. Today's webinar focuses on the Maya Ajmera Sustainability Awards, an important part of GFC's grant-making approach and one that sets us apart from our peers. The long-term viability of promising grassroots solutions touches the very core of our mission. Leading the dialogue today are two fantastic colleagues, Joseph Bednarek and Lita Manayasin. Joe leads our capacity development efforts in Europe and Eurasia and manages the overall grant-making portfolio. As a veteran among the GFC staff, we look to Joe as our unofficial historian. Lita joins us from Armenia as an Atlas Corps Fellow and a William Asher Fellow. In her brief time with us, she has led several research efforts, and her work brings so much energy to the office. Today's webinar is indeed a discussion. Your questions and input are important to us. So after some brief remarks from Joe and Lita, we're going to devote a good portion of our time to questions and comments. So with that, let's dive in. Joe, give us some background on the Sustainability Awards.
So as you probably know, the Sustainability Awards began in 2005. So why were they created? What were they for? They were created partially out of the belief that GFC primary grants could not and should not continue forever. So if that is the case, then GFC wanted to find a way to support the long-term sustainability of our grantee partners after the primary grant support had ended. So the awards were created for this purpose. The award winners are allowed to propose for grant use things like buying an office space, developing a strategic plan, developing communications materials or strategy, strengthening fundraising capacity, developing or improving income generating activities, establishing a reserve fund, and other things connected to sustainability, but these are the main uses. The design of the award and that use, that flexibility is unique. It is something that gives the awards their ability to help target things with the grantee partners that they need. As Steve mentioned, we think the Sustainability Awards are something unique for GFC and that we're very proud of. We're now going to hear from some of the grantee partners that have been awarded Sustainability Awards about what those awards meant to them.
Hard to hear, Joe. Can you turn it up?
You start the video again. Let's just start the video again. And we'll turn up the volume.
Okay,
Yeah. We'll turn it up and start it again.
Let's do it from there. Like just just put this.
We thank Global Fund for Children for the support that they gave for us in the professional training center, which we had close to 500 students who were completing various courses in the carpentry, tailoring, masonry, sustainable agriculture, catering, hairdressing, and also the non-grass plant.
With the help of this award, we managed to renovate this youth house building, including classrooms for cross-educational programs. We also purchased the computer, hardware, and software for the implementation of income-generating activities. In fact, the Sustainability Award was very timely, and it gave us, this youth house, a unique possibility for further organizational development. The funding that they gave us, we were able to not only keep the succession happening in the organization by supporting one of our staff to do masters in public health applicants, so which that if somebody like heavy years, which they could have came in there will still be some retention of knowledge. Also make it possible for small local organizations like ours to also have a reserve. Because it's not all the time we get funding and we get solution, we have a bit of support to be able to transition. And so through the support of people from the children and local organizations like ours, we're able to have some reserve that we can put aside to tide us over when we're having, when we're not getting unrestricted funding, when we use unrestricted budgets and we're having to pay some staff and it's so really critical to the development and the capacity.
Recommendations that we made discussing with local funds has been sharing of knowledge. Because on this side of the world, you do not have many ideas. Our vision is not so strong and not so steady. So sharing, networking, spending money on that, giving us a chance for exposure for visits, projects in other countries. Helping us develop our own brochures or sharing with other organizations.
You can make it if you try. Oh.
Thank you, Steve and Joe, for the presentation and introduction. My name is Lida. Thank you everyone for joining the call, and I will briefly introduce you to the main findings of the research. First of all, I would like to thank GFC for the opportunity given to me to conduct this research, and it was my absolute pleasure to be able to conduct the research and assess the impact of Sustainability Award on the organizational development of our grantee partners. So I would like to mention as the first thing, excuse me. Yes, so approximately $4 million were invested in the Sustainability Award, which is pretty big amount. And this research actually collected feedback from our grantee partners, the ones who received the award. And it reveals the primary areas of award investment, and also it assesses the impact on the organizational sustainability. Around 77 responses were gathered while conducting the research, and 98% of the respondents said that the Sustainability Award was either extremely helpful or very helpful for their organization. The organizations could use the award on one or more areas or purposes in their organization, and the main areas of investment were fundraising, staff capacity development, project implementation, office premises, reserve fund, and staff costs. The answers to the question how the organizations would use the award if they had a second chance show that actually the interest towards fundraising and monitoring and evaluation has grown by 4 to 5%. But also at the same time, the interest in developing staff capacities decreased by 15%. Also, in terms of organizational development, the impact of Sustainability Award was weighted among and across 9 areas. So as you can see the 9 areas on your screens, and we can see that the planning, networking, and partnership building were the most improved according to our grantee partners. But also it's worth mentioning that the weighted score for all the areas is still above average, which is pretty good results, as we can see. So As for the best aspect of sustainability award, around 30% of awardees mentioned that it's flexibility. They really enjoyed the fact that they are free and flexible to use the award money on their priority areas and use it according to their current needs at that time. Also, approximately 40% of awardees mentioned that there is no need for improvement of the sustainability award. First of all, it was very fascinating for me to see the reaction of awardees when they heard from GFC after several years of receiving the award. They were pretty excited to hear from GFC, and for me, as a person who was in GFC for only 6 months, communication with these grantee partners gave me the full picture of how GFC operates, its values, and its approaches. And it showed me that this award actually is very unique for a number of reasons. And one of them is that there are very few, if even there are, funds that provide such support after exiting. And this gives the grantee partners really assurance that they will be able to continue their work in a more sustainable manner. And most of them appreciated GFC's input in it, and also the appreciation went beyond the survey. They came back with emails and shared their current successes, and they were just excited to be in touch with GFC. So therefore, based on the whole feedback that we received from our grantee partners, the main recommendations were concluded in 5 points. As we can see, according to our grantee partners, we should keep the award as flexible as it is. Also, according to them, if we increase the funding and also extend the grant period, we will also expand the impact of the award on their organizational development. The next thing that the grantee partners would expect from GFC is enhanced coaching, especially in the early stages when they have to decide the best area of investment of sustainability award, and also defining what are their priority areas that need to be supported. And the 5th point is leveraging the award, which means connecting our grantee partners to more donors, other stakeholders and supporters, and also publicizing the award and the work of our grantee partners to the extent that it's more visible and more recognized by GFC and by other organizations. Thank you very much.